Since September 11, 2001, our nation has redefined what it means to be a hero. Men and women who serve and protect, both near and far, have received well-deserved honor and recognition. The soldier, the policeman, the firefighter, the rescue worker, the first responder, the everyday heroes who enable us to live safe and sound everyday lives. DTC Communications has one of these such individuals in Ricky Gibbs, a 24-plus year employee of the cooperative who also serves as a firefighter, a first responder, and a rescue worker in Smith County. A former full-time EMT, Ricky has been a member of the Forks River Fire Department in Elmwood, as well as a member of the Smith County Rescue Squad for some 20 years, helping friends, neighbors, and strangers alike in their times of dire need. Although he would never accept the title of hero, what Ricky does in his spare time, as well as those like him who serve and protect, go above and beyond to secure the safety and well-being of those in time of need. Ricky's work in the fire, rescue, and medical fields make him the focus of this DTC Employee Spotlight. Ricky, how did you get interested in the fire, medical, and emergency fields? What got you interested in that?
It was actually a total accident. Back when my first child was born, of course, like any new parent, you wonder about, okay, what would I do if something happened? Didn't know CPR or anything like that. Checked on a few classes. There wasn't any close at the time, so I thought it was during the winter. Thought, hey, I'll just take the entire EMT class. So signed up at Tennessee Tech, went up there, took the whole class, and as part of the class you have to do clinicals, and done those in Putnam County. Went to Putnam County to do a ride-along. I won't never forget, walked up to the door and said, hey, I'm here to do a ride-along. They said the ambulance is pulling around out front to head out on a call, meet them out there, flag them down, and tell them what you're here for. So I did that, jumped in the back, introduced myself, and got hooked.
Typically, how often might you be called out to a scene, and typically also what types of scenes or events do you most respond to?
Well, I'm associated with the fire department over in the eastern side of the county, the Forks River Fire Department, and I work with the EMS. Used to work out here full-time with them, and now they have a first responder program, and I work with them on that. And then rescue, which responds to motor vehicle accidents. Typically, between all of them, you can go a week and not have a call in your area because you typically respond to things that are close to you. And then again, you may turn around and have 3 calls in the same day. So it varies, but on a good week, I guess the number would be somewhere around 4 or 5 calls a week probably.
Ricky, what do you find to be the most gratifying part of this line of work? And likewise, what would be the most difficult part of this line of work?
Well, you always find it gratifying when you get to go out and help people, but I'm just a little part of a bigger thing. It takes a lot of people to do this because we're all volunteer, and you get the opportunity to work and meet with a lot of people that you wouldn't have had the opportunity to do without being part of this. And like I said, it's much bigger than me. If the tones went off right now, you would see several people show up to pick up this vehicle and head out on a call. And just being able to do that and be a part of it and help people, well, that's very gratifying. Some of the more difficult things is, obviously things don't always work out the way you would like them to. You wished every story had a happy ending, but it doesn't always work out that way. But, you've tried to do your best, and people appreciate that even in those circumstances.
Now, you and I have talked, and you have referred to this as your hobby, being a member of fire, rescue, and emergency services. Now, a lot of people for hobbies go fishing or play some kind of recreational sport, but talk about why this is your hobby and how it came to be something that you were truly passionate about.
Well, again, it's the opportunity to help people. I think that's the core instinct of any individual, any person, is to help other people. It's just something that has meant a lot to me over the years. I've got to help people that get to help people that you don't know, and that's a great feeling.
Ricky, I've covered news myself for many years, and knowing a lot of emergency workers, policemen, firemen, ambulance workers, I've heard some very bizarre stories over the years. Maybe tell us something that you recall that was either bizarre or something had a happy ending, something that really sticks in your mind over the years that you've done this kind of work.
Well, again, it goes back to the opportunity to help people. You know, I don't want to get into any real specifics about, you know, any particular call for obvious reasons, but, you know, there have been some calls where, you know, you look back, you know, months later, and I know when my son was in high school, they had an awards program, and we were there, and they were giving out awards to different kids for different achievements. And there was actually 3 different kids that were there, and I looked down there and saw them and thought, you know, there's a group of us that's had the opportunity, I guess, to help them through a situation and allows them to be down there accepting their awards today, and that makes you feel real good.
You might get a call anytime, day or night. Emergencies can happen, of course, anytime, 24/7. This, of course, can affect your life at work, your life at home, your life with your family, even your sleep at night. How do you balance it all out and make it work?
That does make it difficult, and I found out the older you get, the more difficult it seems to make it, especially the getting up at night. But the good thing about it is everybody is really understanding. You have to have a very understanding family, and I've been fortunate with that, because you never know where you might have to set them out on the side of the road or leave just as soon as something's getting ready to start. You try not to do that. I know I was at a ball game with my daughter one day, and I was standing there next to the fence, and she was in the batter's box getting ready to bat, and my pager went off, and of course it was a call close by, and I thought, well, I'm going to stand here till she bats, and then I'm going to run as fast as I can to get in the truck and get going, you know. And she turned around and looked at me, and she said, I know you need to go. You know, she said, somebody needs help. So I left. From the work standpoint, DTC has always been very accommodating in this. They've always given me the opportunity to leave when the calls are close by and go out and do what I can to help somebody. And that is one of the biggest parts about being a part of an organization like this. We're just instruments without having companies that allow us that flexibility to leave on occasion for a few minutes. None of what we do would be possible, because, you know, many times when you get out on a call and when you get done and you get looking, all these folks are volunteers. They were either, you know, they worked the night shift and they were home in bed and they got up, or they've got to be up early the next morning, but they're still standing out there at 4 o'clock, you know, working to try to help someone. Or, you know, they're self-employed and they've left what they've done to go help them while they're there. They're not getting paid. So, you know, it takes a lot of people to make it work for us. And I know, not just speaking for myself, but all of us really appreciate the support that we get from our businesses and from our families.
Ricky, of course, this DTC Employee Spotlight focusing on you and what your work is with the fire and rescue emergency services. But I know there's a lot of people that make this go, a lot of volunteers like yourself that might get called out in the middle of the night, that might have to leave work early. And I know there's a lot of people you'd like to give credit to also.
Oh, absolutely. Like I mentioned earlier, there's a bigger part of this than one individual. I know here in Smith County, we have excellent EMTs and paramedics, and a lot of those will even come out on their time off when there's things going on. We have the people here in rescue. I mean, they're great 24/7. It don't matter, Christmas Eve, Christmas morning. If there's a call, people are there. Our fire department, same way, law enforcement. You just can't give everybody enough credit. When things happen and things need to be done, we all come together and work as a unit and try to get things accomplished for the people that we're there to help.
We often think of heroes as superstar athletes, famous actors, or performers on stage. However, heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and more often than not, come from places where you might least expect. Humble as he is, Ricky Gibbs is one of those people that you may not see on a stage or a big screen, but you may see him at a time when you need him most, in an emergency situation where life or death could very well be at stake. For the DTC Employee Spotlight, reporting for DTC3, I'm Tom Duggan.